Hey there, NASCAR fans. Welcome into this week's episode of The High Line. I'm Jason Mattis. We're coming at you guys each and every single week. I don't have William Blackwell with me here this week. Unfortunate, but schedules couldn't quite align, so heartbreaking that he couldn't be here with us, but we plunge on, and we look forward to having William back in here next week. Because William wasn't here this week, I thought I would do this one on YouTube Live. Normally, obviously, William and I do these, ourselves, and then we do the editing process, and then we upload it to YouTube. But I thought riding solo this week, heck, I would jump on YouTube Live and do this one live. So if you guys got any comments you want to say about last week's Wise Power 400 or this coming week's Pennzoil 400, drop the comment in there, and we'll read them, and we'll kind of go through them as we talk about these two races. Again, let me remind you guys what we do around here. We, of course, look back at last week's race. In this case, it will be the Wise Power 400, and then we always preview the upcoming race. In this case, it will be the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where they'll be host of the Pennzoil 400. And while we talk about the race, we'll, of course, give you our picks for a chance to win $10,000 over on the NBC Sports Predictor app. And then you can win another $10,000 over on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. So let's kick things off. Let's go ahead and start about that Wise Power 400. Well, Kyle Larson gets his way back to victory lane for the first time since 2022. It was a good, in terms of the late race, very good late race battle between him, Austin Dillon, and even Eric Jones. I mean, just fantastic battling between those three drivers late in the race. In fact, if you want to talk about this entire race, there were 32 lead changes in this race, folks. I'm talking 32. That is absolutely remarkable. We haven't seen that in Fontana. In fact, 32 lead changes is twice as many more than what happened when the last time we raced here in 2020. I mean, you got to be ecstatic with the racing that you're getting out of these next-gen cars. You're absolutely ecstatic. The setting up, the passing that these guys can do, it's absolutely phenomenal. And again, we saw it in Fontana, where it's not normally a track where where you can get a lot of passing like that, right? 2 mile track, you kind of set up, you get your setup right, and you won't see that. So yeah, 32 lane changes, absolutely phenomenal. Heartbroken right there for Tyler Reddick. I mean, just sit here, what's today, Wednesday? We're 3 days removed from this race, and I'm still just gutted and absolutely in pain for Tyler Reddick. Had the better car, all day long, stage one, stage two, and then, loses the tire. Obviously cuts the tire and gets a flat, and then William Byron, I still don't know how William Byron did not have time to adjust. It seemed like from the multiple replays I saw the day of watching the race, and then after the fact, I've kind of gone and chased some highlights to see why did William Byron just hit the side of Tyler Reddick's car after he hit the outside wall due to the flat tire, and then William Byron hits his inside wall. I don't get it. I don't understand what William Byron's doing there. I don't know if that's a spotter issue, that's a Byron issue, but to me, he had enough time to go ahead and adjust it. And I'm saying it's unfortunate because I thought William Byron also had a nice car. So I thought maybe that was his moment due to the luckiness of Reddick obviously falling out of contention right there. Maybe then William Byron can, capitalize, but then he runs into the side there of Tyler Reddick, so unable. But yeah, still absolutely just gutted there for Tyler Reddick. He wasn't the only car that had problems throughout that course of the day. Obviously, the Toyotas and mainly the Joe Gibbs camp, they had overheating issues. I think Kyle Busch was the first one to report heating issues, and then I saw Truex had it, Denny Hamlin had it, and obviously Christopher Bell had it. So not a good day at all for the Joe Good camp. Not a good day there for Kyle Busch. Spinning on lap 15 it was. Lost his left rear, went down on lap 86. So yeah, terrible day for Kyle Busch, one of the heavy favorites going into that race, and obviously couldn't get it done there at Fontana. So upsetting day for him, and upsetting day obviously there for Joe Gibbs Racing. We got to talk about, as long as we're talking about Joe Gibbs Racing, let's talk about Martin Truex earlier in that race. How did Austin Cindric not get taken out? If you want to talk about just these guys' drivers' ability, like, are you kidding me? You guys know what I'm talking about when it was, I believe it was Truex, Cindric, I think it was Larson was that third car, and Truex hits the wall, and Larson, is covered around, and how he doesn't get hit right there. I've seen that replay so many times, how those cars don't hit. It's absolutely remarkable work right there that Austin Cindric didn't get collected by Martin Truex Jr. So, yeah, just overall, though, yeah, like I said, not a good day, for Joe Gibbs Racing whatsoever. What about the other drama there? If you're going to leave Joe Gibbs Racing, let's jump over to Team Hendrick. What about the drama there with Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott? Where are you guys side on this one? You guys blaming Kyle Larson? You guys blaming Chase Elliott? Did he intentionally loop his car there and spin out? First, let's talk about the first incident with, what was that, 20 or so laps ago. You've got Kyle Larson and Joey Logano obviously up front, and then you got Chase Elliott was trailing them right behind it. It looked like to me from watching replays and watching it live that Kyle Larson was just arcing his turn, just coming through and just arcing it and just going to come around the outside, and he just, I don't know, forgot about Chase Elliott, just had a brain fart and just completely forgot about it. Now, don't excuse what the hell his spotter's doing. I've listened to the radio communication. The spotter said, that he was focused on the number 22 car there and wanting to obviously pass Joey Logano and just forgot about the 9 car. But I don't know how you can do that. I don't know how you can do it if you're Kyle Larson, because he's right there. And I don't know how you can do it if you're the spotter. So yeah, Kyle Larson definitely is going to go ahead and take the blame for that, as he should. He's got to be more aware of the situation right there. But I didn't think it was intentional. I don't think he purposely drove Chase Elliott up in the wall. I just thought he was arcing his turn and coming through the curve. And like I said, I just forgot about Chase Elliott. Now then, Chase Elliott's obviously going to be hot. He's going to be pissed, and rightfully so, right? That's for the lead right there with, 20, 30 laps to go? Can't quite remember what it was. It was either 20 or 30 to go. They're battling for the lead. So Chase Elliott's going to be hot, going to be pissed. He's obviously got to come down to pit road. Then he wants to interfere with Kyle Larson. Then he wants to get on the radio and say he doesn't care who wins. He doesn't care what happens. He brought out that caution flag intentionally. Now, he did spin, earlier in the race on, lap like 34, and he did have a tow bar issue. So, he had some issues with the car. And the fact that he did spin earlier in the race, he can say, I spun, unintentionally late in that race. But, boy, sure looked like that was an intentional spin. So now Hendrick's got a little bit of a situation on their hands. They got a little bit of a situation. You got 2 young guns in the sport that are in their prime. Much like a Jeff Gordon and a Jimmy Johnson situation way back in the day, a couple decades ago, when you had Jeff Gordon, the established Hendrick Motor driver, in his prime. You had Jimmy Johnson coming up. This feels like a similar situation, right? You got 2 young drivers. Both of them are surely in their prime. Both of them are going to be winning races, for the next several years, and multiple races, obviously, I think within each season as well. So, terrible situation. Hendrick does have experience going through this, but this is definitely something to watch. It's not like these guys are going to, just because their teammates play 100% nice, they're competitors. They want to win. They're going to play somewhat nice because they are teammates, but this isn't going to be hugs and kisses. Hey, this is going to be interesting, to certainly watch forward. So we'll see how this plays out. It'll take bearing. We'll definitely have to watch it over the course of the next few weeks. Let's see what happens. So, interesting stuff right there. But overall, just an absolute fantastic race. That's the best race that's ever happened to Fontana. Don't kid yourself. Don't try and convince yourself that there was another better race that was better than Fontana. It hasn't. And it's all because of the next-gen cars. Just phenomenal racing. Again, 32 lead changes whatsoever. Let me run this stat by you guys right here. Let me run this one here for you. Let me find it right here. Okay, so here's the stat right here. So we've had in the first 2 races, because remember you don't obviously count the clashes. Those aren't official Cup Series points. We're talking about obviously the Daytona 500, and we're talking about the Wise Power 400. We're talking about the first 2 races. There's been 19 different drivers who've had a top 10 result. Listen to that. 19 different drivers who finished in the top 10. That's the most since 1973. Look, this next-gen car, what did NASCAR want? We want parity. We want these cars obviously tougher to drive. We want to level the playing field. NASCAR has done exactly that, and the fans have to be absolutely ecstatic with the driving, the racing that they're getting. And of those 19 drivers who have a top 10, there's only 1 driver who's got a top 10 in both the Daytona 500 and this past weekend at the Wise Power 400. Do you guys know who that 1 driver is? Who's the 1 driver? I'm going to give it a second. See if anybody can maybe put it in the comments. Who's the 1 driver that has got a top 10 in both races so far this season? You will not get his name. His name is Eric Almirola of Stewart-Haas Racing. Yeah, you wouldn't have gotten that one. Eric Almirola. That's what you get in the next-gen car. And think about who was battling for the lead this weekend. You had Eric Jones. He didn't do shit last season. Eric Jones didn't do anything last season. I think that's the best. That is definitely the best finish that Richard Petty Motorsports has ever had. They didn't do anything. I mean, just look at the guys. You got Austin Cindric, rookie coming up here and having a Daytona 500 win. Then he gets on the pole for this Wise Power 400. Austin Dillon, I mean, he's been around and he's been competing. But young guys, Daniel Suarez is up at the front a lot of these. Chase Briscoe's having a great season. I mean, NASCAR is getting exactly what they want. Absolutely love it right now. Though there are two issues, though. If we're going to throw a lot of credit and give NASCAR, pump them up and say they've done a great job in terms of making everything, level and competitive and fun and exciting for the fan, you got to give them some shit, right? The racing's improved, the dirty air issues improved, but the rim and tire situation is absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. You cannot have a driver get a flat tire and be penalized and go down multiple laps because his car is now stuck on the racetrack because obviously the car is now dropped too low, and how these cars are built, they're getting stuck to the racetrack right here. So they've got to fix that. NASCAR knows they've got to fix that immediately. Whatever the temporary situation is, just go ahead and get it. And I'm not a car guy. I'm not going to sit here and act like it and come up with a solution. But that is the one thing that is unacceptable. You can't have a guy get a flat tire and be penalized and going multiple laps down, especially, that was on a 2-mile track, folks. That just past week was a 2-mile track. What if that happens at a Bristol or a Martinsville? You're not going to go 3 laps down. You're going to go 13 laps down. I mean, so unacceptable. NASCAR's got to fix that, but from everything else, we love it here from a fan's perspective in terms of what we're getting from these cars, the racing, the passing, the competition. Absolutely love it right there. NASCAR Fantasy Live did come in. It was Eric Almirola. You are right. The only driver that has gotten top 10 in both races so far this season. All right, so I think that sews it up there for the Wise Power 400. Let's go ahead now and turn our attention now to the Pennzoil 400. Again, this coming up this weekend, the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Was here 2 times last season. Kyle Larson's technically the defending champ because he was the winner in March, but the most recent winner here at Las Vegas was Denny Hamlin. This was the time of the year last year when Denny Hamlin was coming on, was looking like, oh shit. All the guy did was finish in second place during the regular season, and then here come the playoffs, and here comes Denny Hamlin, and what a fantastic win he had back in September here at Las Vegas. So look forward to it. I mean, Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson are certainly will both be race favorites, and both of those guys will be up towards the front all day long. So with that being said, though, let's go ahead and jump into it. You guys remember what we do around here? Well, it's on the NBC Sports Predictor app. You can win $10,000. They ask you all 3 stages to pick the driver that'll finish best amongst the 4 that they give you, and then you've got to give them a top 3. Before we do that, don't forget, I also give away $25 each and every single week to the winner of the Winning Bets League. All you got to do is join the Winning Bets League on the app. If you need that league information, you can go ahead and grab it from this video description. Whoever has the most points at the end of each and every single race gets $25. Let's see who won last week. If we take a look at the results, it looks like we got Fina Get It. 22 is going ahead and take it with 60 points. Phenomenal entry by them. They got all 3 stages right. They got Kyle Larson right, taking the checkered flag. They just missed P2, P3. So we are 2 drivers away from a perfect entry. I can't wait till somebody on this Winning Bets community takes this jackpot. You guys remember last season on the jackpot races that we had somebody on our community come in first place and win $250. We've got somebody on this app is going to nail that $50,000 prize, and this person was obviously agonizing close, but they take home my $25. But they'll be back. That was a great entry. They'll be back for $10,000. So that person's already hit me up on Twitter. They actually already got their $25, so we can spick that spiel. But for everybody else, if you're not in that league, get in the league and take my $25. All right, with that being said, though, let's jump into it. Before I do that, let me give you William's picks. I told you guys he's not here, but this is who William picked. Those are his selections. He's got Kyle Larson in stage 1, William Byron in stage 2, Denny Hamlin in stage 3. And then for his top 3, he's got Larson, Hamlin, and Logano taking his top 3. What do I've got for stage 1? You get Larson, Logano, Reddick, and Truex. I went Kyle Larson. I mean, you're going to give me Kyle Larson. I said last week, you got to make a hell of a case to take somebody else. And Logano's obviously great here at Las Vegas. Reddick is having a phenomenal season. I mean, just really good. And again, God, I was so goddamn gutted for him on Sunday. Just was looking like he had the best car all day, and gutted for him. But you could certainly make a case for him. You could make a case for Truex. He's obviously really good hitter at Vegas. But I'm going to go ahead and go with Kyle Larson. Again, the defending champ, got his first victory of 2022. He's going to be strong. And you see it with these cars. You talk about all these drivers. They talk about how the cars are tough to drive. I don't think there's a better driver than Kyle Larson. I mean, look what he was doing last season, going from dirt to NASCAR. Dirt. It was just feeling like he was always running midweek on some dirt track, winning it, and then coming right to the weekend and winning NASCAR. So he's the best guy. I'll go and take Kyle Larson in stage 1. For stage 2, you got to pick between Byron, Cindric, Jones, and Suarez. I agree with William Byron. I agree with William Blackwell. I'm going with William Byron. It's a guy in a Hendrick car. Hendrick cars are always really tough. William Byron, again, I thought he was strong last week until he took himself out running into Tyler Reddick right there. You could make a case for Cindric. He's been tough, but at some point he's going to drop off. He is a rookie. Jones and Suarez, give both of those guys credit with what they were able to do last week. Jones, in particular, really competing late in that race for the checkered flag, but not going to pick them up against a Hendrick car, not going to pick them up against William Byron. So it's William Byron for me in stage 2. William Byron also, he had a strong in March. He was 7th and 4th in the 2 stages, finished in 8th. He's got a better average finish and driver rating than Jones and Suarez too. So yeah, William Byron for me wasn't too difficult right there. And then for the last stage, you got to pick between Blaney, Kyle Busch, Elliott, Hamlin, heavy hitters, obviously, in stage 3. It's what you always get. I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb here. I think this will shock people. I think Denny Hamlin, William Blackwell picked, is obviously an excellent pick. I'm going Ryan Blaney. He finished 5th in both races last year. 5th. I mean, guys, incredible. He's got the 8th best average finish. He's got the 7th best driver rating here at Vegas since 2019. So, yeah, 2 top 5 finishes last season. I like what Ryan Blaney obviously has been doing so far this season. So, hard to go against Hamlin here at Vegas, I know. Hard to go against Elliott, obviously what he's done here at Vegas. Kyle Busch is too up and down. I know I picked him last week. He burned me, and there's a reason why last season on these apps I generally stayed away from Kyle Busch, and I got a harsh reminder of why I did that last week when he crashed and burned for me and really took me out. So no Kyle Busch for me. So Ryan Blaney for me on stage 3. Let me go ahead and give you guys my top 3. I'll put up my picks now. There's my top 3 right there. So I'm going Kyle Larson is going to be the winner. I do agree with William Blackwell. Just the guy's tough, and if there's anybody that can go back to back, while it is tough, we know it's Kyle Larson. I mean, he's a hell of a guy. I like Joey Logano. Going to take P2. I like Joey Logano. His last 6 at Vegas, he's got 2 wins, 4 top 10s. He's got the number 1 driver rating. And he's got the 3rd best average finish, again, in his last 6 races here at Vegas. So he does incredible work here. So I like Joey Logano in P2. And P3, I'll go with Brad Keselowski. I like Keselowski. His last 6 at Vegas, he's got the best average finish at 5.67. He's got 5 of those 6 finishes have been in the top 5. So that's what we're talking about here, folks. I don't have to pick the winner at this point. He's got to pick somebody to finish in the top 5. Well, top 3 in this case. And he's had 5 of his last 6 all finished in the top 5, so love that. And he was really strong last time we were here in March. So obviously think he can carry that, experience and his track knowledge on into this weekend. So give me Brad Keselowski right there. All right, and those Williams picks are on the left. My picks are on the right, and that's how you do it there on the NBC Sports Predictor app. Now let's jump it over to let's jump over here to the Fox Bet Super 6. Let's do Fox Bet Super 6. Guys, I think I changed. If you're not following me on Twitter, you got to follow me on Twitter. It's at WinningBetsPod. It's at WinningBetsPod. You can make these changes all the way through stage 1. I think, and I tweeted it during the race, like as soon as stage 1 was over, I tweeted out my modified answers. I don't know if I kept anything the same. You'd be crazy not to watch the race and then obviously make changes. So these are my answers as of today, but follow me on Twitter because more than likely be going ahead and changing these. Question 1 is who's going to lead the most laps? And again, all these questions are at the end of stage 2. Who's going to lead the most laps? Give me Kyle Larson. Who's going to have the fastest lap? Give me Denny Hamlin. He's going to be good here again this week, folks. Always good when he comes to Vegas. Always is good when he comes to Vegas. So Denny Hamlin will have the fastest lap. How many caution laps will there be? I don't know, 11 to 12? That's tough. That's tough to get that one right. You need so much damn luck to get that one right. Teams with the most drivers in the top 5. I'll go Hendrick. I think Larson, Elliott, and Byron could all be up there. Strong here at Vegas. Where's the pole sitter going to be? Don't know who the pole sitter is. Obviously, they're going to do practice and qualifying, so we'll wait to find out. But I put first and second. I'm expecting Kyle Larson to qualify really high and just get his setup like he did in March when he was here last year, winning the race, and just cruise if he can qualify that high. So if that's where he'll qualify, I like first and second. And then who's going to have the better finish here? Tyler Reddick. This guy's incredible. Look, he's a checkered flag like any Sunday away. I mean, this guy's been really, really good. So I like Tyler Reddick right there amongst those drivers that have the best finish. So that's how we'll do it there on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. And again, just watch me on Twitter. I can't imagine I can't imagine keeping all 6 of those answers the same. So again, just make sure you're following me on Twitter, and that's how we'll do it this week. So there's the Pennzoil 400. Again, we didn't have William Blackwell with us this week, but we look forward to getting him back in here with us next week and recapping this race. And then where do they go next? They go Phoenix? I think they go to Phoenix. Pretty sure the boys go out to Phoenix next after Las Vegas. So we look forward to the good track there out at Phoenix. All right, guys, that's how we'll do it. I'm, of course, Jason Mattis here with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Highline Podcast, talking NASCAR. Absolutely love it. And if you guys want some real bets on this race, on my daily show every Friday is when I reveal my NASCAR head-to-head bets. So if you're interested in any real bets on this weekend's race, just go ahead and check out Friday's episode of my daily show. Otherwise, guys, enjoy the Pennzoil 400. I look forward to having you guys in here with me next week. We'll recap this one and look forward to Phoenix. Good luck with your picks and enjoy the race.